Average is a disease, and you've been infected since the day they told you to blend in. Since the first time someone told you to be realistic. Since they laughed at your dreams. Since they gave you gold stars for showing up and silence when you stood out. Average was dressed up to look like safety, like comfort, like acceptance. But beneath the costume, it was a quiet, slow death of everything extraordinary inside you. And the cure? The only antidote to the plague of mediocrity? Discipline. Not motivation, not hype, not another wave of feel-good quotes. Discipline. The cold, sharp blade that carves your future out of the stone of resistance. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't beg you to show up. It commands you. And when you answer that command, when you walk through the fire of repetition, of structure, of discomfort, you don't just kill average, you bury it so deep it forgets your name. Look around. Most people are not suffering from lack of talent. They're drowning in distractions, paralyzed by comfort, addicted to validation. They want the crown, but refuse the weight. They want transformation without sacrifice, success without scars. But every empire was built on the bones of who you used to be. You don't get to the top without killing your former self, again and again. Discipline is the executioner, and you have to love the process of becoming more than the man who got you here. Henry Ford said, "Thinking is the hardest work there is," which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. But thinking alone isn't enough. You must act. You must move. You must forge new muscle into your character. The average man thinks. The disciplined man builds. Every day, your habits either honor your dreams or betray them. There is no neutral. There is no pause button. If you're not evolving, you're eroding. If you're not rising, you're rotting. You don't have time to negotiate with mediocrity. Discipline is not glamorous. It's brutal, it's lonely, it's thankless. But it is the blueprint. It is the one consistent law in the universe of greatness. You think Thomas Edison wanted to fail 10,000 times? You think Carnegie never doubted himself? You think Oprah didn't want to quit when the world mocked her for dreaming bigger than her circumstances? They bled for their vision. They paid in full. And their currency? Discipline. Discipline to get up when it was easier to lay down. Discipline to speak truth when silence was safe. Discipline to grind when the applause faded. Average lives in excuses. Discipline lives in execution. You decide where you reside. You have to understand, life will not give you what you want. It will give you what you demand from yourself, not once, but over and over. The universe is not a genie. It's a mirror, and it reflects what you consistently are, not what you occasionally pretend to be. Your mind is either your weapon or your jailer. The average man is imprisoned by his emotions. The disciplined man commands them. He trains them. He turns fear into fuel, pain into progress, and failure into fire. So ask yourself, what have you tolerated that you were born to destroy? Who are you pretending to be so the world will love you, when deep down, you know you were built to lead it? This world doesn't need more average men nodding along in quiet desperation. It needs warriors of will, architects of clarity, leaders who choose suffering with purpose over success without soul. And that begins not in some grand moment, but in the silence, the early mornings, the small decisions, the mundane moments no one sees. Discipline is born in the dark. You either build your life through design or watch it crumble through default. Average is inherited. Discipline is chosen. And you must choose it daily, not once, not when it's easy, not when the world cheers you on. You choose it when you're tired, when you're doubting, when no one claps, when no one notices. You choose it because it is who you are, not what you do. Discipline is the decision to become untouchable. You think greatness is a feeling? It's a habit. It's brushing your teeth with purpose. It's writing the plan when no one asks for it. It's saying no when the crowd begs for yes. It's putting your phone down and picking your mission up. You don't rise because of who you follow. You rise because of what you follow through on. You don't find your greatness. You forage for it through blood, time, focus, and fire. And every time you show up when it's hard, you bury average 1 inch deeper. Keep digging. Because eventually, the hole becomes a grave, and inside that grave lies the version of you that's settled, the one that hit snooze, the one that broke promises to himself, the one that blamed the world while refusing to own his place in it. And above that grave stands a new you, scarred, seasoned, silent, and unstoppable. You see, discipline doesn't scream. It doesn't announce itself. It just becomes. It becomes the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you stare into chaos and do not flinch. Discipline gives you presence, and presence creates power. You stop chasing validation and start radiating certainty. You become your own permission, your own proof. There is no savior coming. There is no secret shortcut. There is only the man who looks back at you in the mirror and the decision he makes when no one is watching. Let that decision be discipline. Let it be the whisper in the morning that says, "Get up, you're not done." Let it be the echo at night that says, "We didn't come this far to break now." Let it be the force that makes average fear your name. Because the truth is, the disciplined man doesn't just survive the world.
He conquers it. He bends it. He steps into chaos, not with trembling hands, but with the stillness of a warrior who knows that stores are merely tests. Tests of will, tests of endurance, tests of vision. And while the masses scream for comfort, for rest, for permission to stop, the disciplined man keeps moving, quiet, focused, relentless. He doesn't explain himself to mediocrity. He doesn't beg for understanding. He builds, and then he becomes the standard that others fear to chase. Listen to me. Your destiny isn't in the hands of the economy, the politicians, your upbringing, your friends, or your boss. It's in the inches. It's in the minutes. It's in the war you fight every morning when the alarm screams and your excuses try to whisper you back to bed. And what happens in that moment, that single moment of decision, that's who you are. You think greatness is found in the spotlight, in the trophies, in the applause? No. Greatness is found in the dark, in the grind, in the silence. When no one's watching, but you still show up, because character isn't proven when it's convenient. Discipline isn't forged when it's easy. Power isn't earned in public. It's earned in pain. When your legs are shaking, when your mind is begging you to quit, when your soul screams, "Why are we still doing this?" And the only answer is, because I refuse to die ordinary. Understand this. Average is always recruiting. It's always calling your name with soft hands and sweet lies. Take it easy. You deserve a break. You've done enough. But that's not your language. Your blood speaks in a different tongue. It speaks sacrifice. It speaks mission. It speaks in the fire of becoming something more. So burn the escape plan. Kill the backup option. Crush the idea that you were ever meant to be just fine. You were not born to blend in. You were not wired to retreat. You are not the type to watch the world pass by and whisper, "I wish." You are the builder, the fighter, the one who dares to rise when others kneel. The storm that silence fears. And if today broke you, then crawl, but don't stay down. Never stay down. The man who wins in this life is not the one with fewer scars. It's the one who refuses to let his scars define him. Every failure, a lesson. Every betrayal, a sharpening. Every loss, a forge. You are not broken. You are becoming. You see, discipline isn't a prison. It's the key. It unlocks the future that laziness keeps chained behind doubt. Because the truth is, when you give everything you have, something strange happens. You get more. More clarity, more strength, more certainty that this pain has a purpose. You begin to feel something most men will never taste: power from within. Not from status, not from validation, not from followers or fame, but the deep, unwavering knowing that you control you, that no one gets to dictate how high you rise. Not your past, not your trauma, not the voices that told you you'll never be enough. They were wrong. They were always wrong. Because now you've seen it. You've touched the edge of what's possible. And once you've touched that edge, you can never unsee it. You can never go back to playing small. And let this burn into your soul. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and the legend you were born to be. So walk it, run it, crawl if you must, but never leave it. You will have days where your mind lies, where it tells you, we're too tired, we're too late, we're too broken. Don't listen. That voice isn't your truth. That voice is weakness gasping for air before it dies. And you? You are the executioner of weakness. You are the assassin of excuses. You are the one who walks through hell, not because you enjoy it, but because you refuse to kneel to it. Every great man was once broken. Every king once crawled. Every hero once wept in the dark, wondering if it was all worth it. And still, they got up. Not because it was easy, not because it was fair, but because the fire in their heart demanded more. And now, it's your turn. Let the world sleep. Let the masses mock. Let the noise swirl. You've got work to do. Because discipline is destiny in motion. And you're not done. The world may not applaud you today. It may not see the battles you fight, the invisible ones, the internal ones, the kind that leave no bruises but scar the soul. But that's okay, because you're not here for applause. You're here for impact. You're here to break the chains that bound generations before you. You're here to make sure your name is not a whisper of regret, but a roar of purpose. The disciplined man, he doesn't wait for a better time. He doesn't sit around hoping the stars align. He knows that time will not wait, that life will not slow down, that opportunity does not knock. It runs, and only the disciplined man has the legs to chase it down. Understand this. The world is not broken. It's undisciplined. And where there is no discipline, chaos reigns, emotion rules, despair spreads. But you're not like the rest. You don't react, you respond. You don't drift, you decide. You don't follow, you forge. That is what separates the man of purpose from the man of potential. Potential is a liar. It flatters you with dreams and seduces you with ease. But discipline? Discipline tells you the truth. It says, if you want it, bleed for it. If you want to rise, sacrifice comfort. If you want greatness, bury the old you in the ashes of who you were yesterday. And isn't that what you're doing? Every time you say no to the snooze button, every time you show up when the world would understand if you didn't, every time you grind in silence while others party in noise, you're not losing. You're winning quietly. Because the victories that matter don't come with confetti. They come with clarity. Clarity that you are not here to repeat the cycle. Clarity that your bloodline changes with you. Clarity that people talk about you decades from now. They will say, that man, he didn't quit. He didn't flinch. He chose discipline, and in doing so, he became untouchable. So keep going. Keep rising. Every second of doubt is a second begging to be claimed by a stronger version of you. Pain? It's not the enemy. Pain is your signal. It means you're new something that matters. Do you really think comfort built anything eternal? No empire was born in comfort. No dynasty was created in ease. No legacy was carved from soft choices. But discomfort? That's where kings are crowned. Let me speak directly to the part of you that's tired, that's doubting, that's quietly wondering if this grind is even worth it. It is. You are not training for today. You're training for the days when life hits you so hard your old self would have folded. But your new self, your disciplined self, he stands tall. Because that's the gift of discipline. It raises your floor so high that even your worst day is another man's peak. So stop measuring your progress by emotions. Measure it by your actions. Measure it by how often you kept your word, by how many days you showed up when no one else did, by the amount of times you chose the harder right over the easier wrong. That's the scoreboard that matters. And every day you honor it, you're not just building discipline, you're building freedom. Yes, freedom. Because discipline doesn't restrict you, it liberates you. It frees you from regret. It frees you from mediocrity. It frees you from a life where your potential dies inside your comfort zone. The world loves talent. It loves charisma. But talent without discipline is like fire without wood. It burns out fast. And charisma without consistency is a performance, not power. You want real power? Then become the man who does what he says he will do every single time, whether he feels like it or not. That's power.
Because in the end, discipline is the only promise that keeps delivering long after motivation is gone. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. Motivation gets you started. Discipline gets you across the finish line. Bleeding if necessary, but victorious nonetheless. And if you want to build a life worth remembering, you better decide right now that your comfort will not be your God, because everything you truly want lives on the other side of discomfort. You want freedom? It costs discipline. You want respect? Earn it in silence. You want greatness? You'll need to become the man worthy of carrying it. There's no shortcut for that. There's no app, no hack, no mentor who can walk the path for you. You've got to sweat for it. You've got to bleed for it. You've got to show up when everything in your life screams to go back. Because discipline is war. It's war against the weak version of yourself you've tolerated for too long. The version that hits snooze, that skips workouts, that overthinks instead of acts, that trades legacy for laziness, that blames instead of builds. That man, he's got to die. And only discipline has the strength to bury him. Because the new you, the real you, isn't interested in pity. He's interested in power. Not the fake kind you flex online, the kind you earn when no one claps, when no one sees, when no one celebrates your grind, but you keep moving anyway. That's the power you're chasing. The kind that makes your future unshakable. The kind that makes fear nervous. The kind that makes failure confused. Because you don't break, you build through it. And maybe, just maybe, that's why the storm came. Not to break you, but to reveal you. To peel back everything that doesn't belong. To test your roots. To see if your goals were wishes or non-negotiables. Because the storm doesn't come for the weak. It comes for the ones with potential. It comes for the ones with destiny written in their DNA. It comes to ask, are you who you say you are? And your answer, it's not in your words, it's in your actions. So when the pain hits, when the chaos rises, when the night feels long and lonely, don't run. Smile. Smile because this is where most men quit. Smile because this is where the line gets drawn. Smile because this is your moment. The moment where you stop being a man with goals and become a man with standards. Because goals are fragile. They bend under pressure. But standards, they're steel. And the man with standards doesn't need motivation. He doesn't need applause. He doesn't need ideal conditions. He just needs a reason. And brother, if you've been broken before, if you've been overlooked, underestimated, betrayed, that's your reason. Every scar is fuel. Every loss is a lesson. Every hardship is a hammer shaping something unstoppable inside you. You don't rise by avoiding pain. You rise by turning it into purpose. So let them laugh, let them doubt, let them say you changed, because you did. You stopped apologizing for your ambition. You stopped lowering your standards to make others comfortable. You stopped playing life on easy mode. You woke up. And the man who wakes up fully, finally, he becomes a threat to everything average. Because average can't survive next to discipline. Comfort can't live where purpose walks. And weakness dies when strength shows up consistently. So what if they don't understand you? They're not supposed to. You're building something they've never seen. You're chasing something they gave up on. You're becoming someone they never believed was possible. And the best part? You're just getting started. Because the man you are today, he's not even the final form. He's the foundation, the blueprint, the unshakable core on which a future empire is built. Your finances, rebuilt with discipline. Your body, forged with discipline. Your mind, rewired with discipline. Your relationships, strengthened by the man you become through discipline. Everything you touch, elevated by the fire you chose to walk through. You want peace? Win the war within first. You want legacy? Bury the laziness now. You want to become him, the one they write about, speak about, study. Then make this your creed. I will not leave this life with potential still inside me. Say it again. Feel it. I will not leave this life with potential still inside me. Because that is what average men do. They take their gifts to the grave. They bury their dreams with their bones. They die full of what could have been. But not you. You are emptying yourself daily. You are pouring out every ounce of strength, sweat, discipline, and desire into this day. Because you know that tomorrow is not promised, but this moment is. So dominate it. And when you fall short, which you will because you are human, get back up with even more fire. Because failure isn't the enemy. Quitting is. Failure is feedback. Failure is fuel. Failure is proof you are in the arena. But quitting? Quitting is betrayal.
Quitting is spitting on your future self. It's shaking hands with the lesser version of you and saying, "You win." You are not here to lose. You are here to lead, to build, to conquer the chaos inside and bring order to your world. And that's why we don't stop. Not when it's hard, not when it hurts, not when it's unfair. We keep going. Because we understand one truth. Discipline is the only love that will never leave you. It will meet you at rock bottom. It will walk with you through the fire. It will wait with you in the darkness until the light returns. And when it does, you'll be ready. Because while the world slept, you prepared. While others complained, you committed. While most drifted, you decided. So now, look in the mirror. Look at the eyes staring back at you, not with fear, but with fire. Say it out loud. I'm not done. Say it like you believe it. I'm just getting started. Say it like your life depends on it, because it does. I was built for more. And now, go prove it.
I was built for more. Then act like it. Walk like it. Speak like it. Live like it. Let every step you take from this day forward scream discipline. Let every breath carry the weight of your mission. Because the world doesn't need more men who talk. It needs more men who do. It needs fewer cowards in comfort and more warriors with conviction. It needs fewer likes and more legacy. You weren't made to scroll through life. You were made to shake it. To enter the room and make people feel something different. To walk with that silent intensity that only comes from doing hard things daily. To carry yourself not like a man with answers, but a man who fought for them. Because there's something sacred about a man who's been through hell and didn't come back empty-handed. He came back with wisdom. He came back with scars. He came back with discipline carved into his soul. You can feel it in the way he speaks, and the way he listens, and the way he doesn't rush or chase, but moves with purpose, like a man on assignment. And you're becoming that man, day by day, step by step, battle by battle. You're not just building a better life, you're building an unbreakable self. And that is the greatest achievement of all. Because when everything else fades, titles, money, fame, you will remain. You. The man who refused to settle. The man who stared into the abyss and said, "I will not bow." The man who chose the narrow road when the wide one begged him to return. The man who didn't need the world to believe in him because he believed in himself enough to become unstoppable. And when that man walks into a room, the room changes. He doesn't speak loudly. He doesn't need to. Because when you live with discipline, your life speaks for you. It speaks in your posture, in your presence, in the way you carry pain like a crown, not a curse. It speaks when you're silent, and it shouts when you act. So don't stop now. You've come too far. You've sacrificed too much. You've buried too many versions of yourself to go back to who you were. Let others rest, you rise. Let others coast, you climb. Let others rot in comfort, you burn in pursuit. This is your time. This is your season. And this is the day you stop waiting for permission to become who you were meant to be. You've always had the keys. Now turn the lock. Open the door. And walk into the version of yourself that fear never wanted you to meet. Because discipline didn't just save you, it rebuilt you. Stronger, sharper, unstoppable. And now that you're here, hear these final words as a command. Do not
go back to sleep. Do not return to small. Do not trade this fire for applause. Do not let the man you've built rot in the name of being realistic. You are not here to survive the world. You are here to redefine it. So get up. Rise again. Train again. Sacrifice again. Push again. Not because it's easy, but because it's who you are now. And when the world tries to hand you excuses, hand them back your discipline. When the world tries to give you comfort, show them your calluses. When they ask how you did it, say nothing. Just point to the grind. Point to the early mornings, to the late nights, to the days you didn't quit, to the choices no one saw, to the moments where you had every reason to stop and still said, "Not today." Because that's what makes you different. You're not waiting to be remembered. You're writing your legacy now. And one day, whether it's a stage, a book, a son, a stranger, a eulogy, someone will tell the story. And when they ask, how did he do it? How did he become him? Let the answer be simple. Let it be final. Let it be truth. He chose discipline, and he never looked back.